All right, everyone, welcome again to Joint School Live. I'm again delighted to have a really experienced physiotherapist with me. Today, it's Mark from Post Op Home Physio, who will actually be taking us through a pre-op session, really, with some prehab exercises for those awaiting a knee replacement, but also may well be relevant for people awaiting hip replacement surgery too. As ever, I'm sort of wearing the safety hat, so to speak, and of course, do double check with a physiotherapist or someone who knows you and your situation before you dive into a new exercise routine. And we will be flagging a few different things as we go and as we summarize things at the end. But I really hope that you find this session helpful. And I'll just bring, here we are, just bring Mark with us. Hello there, Mark.
Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very good, thanks, all things considered. And how about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's also strange times, but I think we're all finding some kind of new normal.
I think so, yeah. We're slowly getting back to doing some visits, like face-to-face visits again after all the kind of virtual physio of the last few months. So it's been good.
Yeah. And so before I sort of hand over the screen entirely to you, do you want to tell us a little bit about Post Op Home Physio, what you do, where you work, and how people can get in touch?
Sure. So yeah, Post Op Home Physio, we're a group of orthopedic specialist physios. So we're working throughout London, covering all London boroughs at the moment. So we're a growing team. We've been going for about 2 years now. So yeah, we see people at home. So we think physio is best in people's own environment. So we find that works really well with clients to improve and achieve their goals. So that's us. Yeah, we've been
good stuff.
Slowly growing. Yeah, it's good.
And will we be continuing with virtual appointments as well if people from further outside of London want to get in touch?
Yeah. Our aim is some of the virtual sessions have been beneficial. Definitely, we're getting back to face, which is good. But hoping to continually grow and see more clients if they're seeing the benefit. Definitely.
Yeah, good stuff. And so before we dive into this workout, is there anything you want to say or flag about it?
So yeah, it's going to be a knee and hip focus class, more towards the knee. So going to start off with some chair exercises and move on to some standing exercises. So all you'll need is a chair and either another chair or a stool to kind of rest the leg on for some of the exercises, and either a towel or a plastic bag or something just to try and work with the knee flexion towards the end. So if you do have pain, obviously if you're waiting for surgery and the pain levels are quite high, then we can definitely make a few adjustments to some of the exercises, and we'll talk through that as we go.
Yeah, good stuff. And what would you be hoping that people achieve by doing these exercises before a knee replacement, or indeed even a hip replacement?
First thing is range of movement, either maintaining the range of movement that is in the hip or the knee, or even trying to improve that if possible. And strength is definitely an important issue. So trying to get used to the exercises that you might be doing in the first few weeks after a surgery is really important. So trying to start off that process really before.
All right, well, good stuff. Well, over to you, Mark.
Thank you.
I look forward to joining in.
Excellent, thank you. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start in sitting. We're going to have a bit of a general warm up first. So we're going to start just with the ankles. So we're just going to be moving the ankles up and down. So I'm going to start for probably about 30 seconds, just nice and easy. Lifting the toes off the ground, moving the ankles, and then just switching it up to lifting the heels off the ground together like this. So we'll go for 10 more. Just warming up the joints, and then again switching, alternately lifting the toes. Last 10 seconds. Okay, and I'm going to just move into some gentle marches in the chair. So just lifting the knees as high as you can. Again, if there's pain in the hip for any of these, then don't worry about lifting as high, or if you can only lift sort of higher on one side than the other, then that's absolutely fine. So we'll go for about 20 more seconds for this one. So the aim of the warm-up really is just to go through the joint movement, warming up the joint, loosening up the joint a bit, and also definitely getting the heart rate up a bit to begin the exercise program. So last few seconds for this one. Okay, now we're going to take the right hand and we're going to move it down to the left foot. Back up again, left hand down to the right foot. So we're going to keep alternating, activating the core muscles as well. Really important for any hip or knee movement that we're doing, that we activate and start to work the core before we do that. Get a bit of rotation in there as well. Down. Also, as we're doing this, you're getting a nice hip flexion as well, hip bending there. So as we come down to the right side there, nice left-sided hip bend, and the opposite happens when we go down to the other side there. So we'll do a few more of these. Hopefully by now, feeling the heart rate increase a bit more from a few minutes ago. Switching over to that side. Last few. And then last one, just going to lift the arms, just lifting up and down, just to finish the warm-up. Just for any warm-up that you do, ideally we want a kind of full body warm-up, not just the hip or the knee or whatever joint it is that you're aiming to improve during the session. You want a full body warm-up. So we'll do 5 more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to twist some nice gentle spinal rotations just to finish up the warm-up. So as far as you can go. Again, don't worry if you're struggling to get further on one particular side, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. It's good just to loosen up the joints of the spine. Okay, last 5 for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. So we're going to use either a second chair or a stool for these first exercises. I'm just going to bring that in here. Make sure you can see. Okay, so we're going to start to work on quad strength. The quads are the muscles just at the top of the thigh here. Really important for building the strength in these before either a hip or a knee replacement. So we're going to rest the leg on the chair. Now we're going to do these on both sides. So we'll start with the left leg. Now what you're going to do here is push the knee down here and pull the toes up towards you, and hopefully you can feel the thigh muscles, the quad muscles tensing. You can pop your hand here just to get a feel what that's like, and you're going to hold. So we're going to hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to lift, and then we're going to try the opposite side. The same again. The first movement is pushing down, so we're trying to straighten the knee essentially. So pushing down, toes up towards you, squeezing the thigh, push down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you do have pain in the hip or the knee, then you can always use the hands to get the leg out, or to help lift the leg onto the chair. That's okay. So we'll go again. We'll push down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Same as before. We can help just use the hands to lift off the chair there. So we'll do a few more on each side. If you are waiting for surgery on, say, the left side, it's really beneficial to try these exercises on both sides, because obviously if you're having a left knee replacement, for example, you're going to be using crutches and the right leg to support that left leg after your surgery. So really, really important to be doing these exercises on both sides. I'll switch back again. So pushing down, squeeze, tense the thigh muscles, ankle up towards you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last few, pushing down. Same again, it might be that the knee doesn't go completely straight if you've got a bit of swelling or inflammation in the knee, or if the knee joint is just really painful, but we can gently just apply a bit of pressure with the hands moving down. So obviously there might be pain while you're doing these exercises. Ideally, if you're scoring your pain out of 10, then we don't want to be up at the kind of 7, 8, 9 out of 10 while you're doing exercises. But if you can control that, then hopefully as you're doing some of these exercises, then what we'd be looking for is ideally the pain reduces as you get more movement, more strength, more mobility in the joint. Okay, we'll do one more on this side. So squeezing down, squeezing, put the hands there so you can feel the thigh muscle tensing. Foot up towards you, 3, 2, 1. So coming back to the opposite side, we're going to just progress that exercise a little bit more. So the first part of it is still the thigh squeeze. So as you push down, ankle up towards you. Now, if you can, we're going to try and lift that leg. Hold it, 3, 2, 1, and then resting back down again. So it's quite a hard exercise. You're flexing the hip, moving the hip upwards as you squeeze the thigh. And the aim is to try and keep the leg straight. So there's not a bend in the knee. So you're holding here. Just maybe 3 seconds for this one. 3, 2, 1. And then we'll switch back to the opposite side. So first thing, get that thigh squeeze, foot up towards you. We try and lift off. 3, 2, 1, and if this is quite hard, then you can, instead of a chair like this, you could always do it either from a lower stool or from the floor as well. So we'll squeeze here, or it might be that if you can't lift the leg up as high, just kind of lifting it up, like sort of pulsing it like up 1, 2, 3, like that. That's absolutely fine as well. Okay, a few more of these on each side. Hopefully now you can feel the thigh muscles working. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Okay, lifting up, toes towards you. 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, last ones. One more on each side. Pushing down. 3, 2, 1. Okay, squeezing the thigh. 3, 2, 1. We're just going to move that chair out of the way. So we're going to do a gentle hamstring stretch. So the hamstrings are the muscles just at the back here, behind the knee. So we're going to kind of move forward and sit to the edge of the chair. Let's start again with the left leg. You're going to straighten the left leg. Bring the foot up towards you, both hands on the knee. And we're going to slide the hands down the knee, kind of either reaching the middle of the shin bone here, or if you're up here and it's just the knee, again, that's absolutely fine. As long as you should feel a gentle pull on the back of the muscles here. And that's all we're aiming for. Nothing too strenuous, just a gentle stretch of the muscles. So I'm going to hold here. 3, 2, 1. So that you'd be aiming for about 15 to 20 seconds for this. So we'll go for the opposite side, straightening the knee, edge of the chair, and just slide the hands. So again, you might not be able to go as far on one side. For me, my right hamstrings are tighter than the left, so I can't get down as far on this side, but that's absolutely fine. So we just hold there, feeling the sensation in the back of the leg behind the knee. 3, 2, 1. We go back to the other side. Just make sure you kind of pause in between each one. Don't rush through these, and once you've done the stretch as well, you're coming out nice and slowly as well. Okay, so pulling down, holding here, feeling the stretch. If it's too much of a stretch, then you can just ease off a bit, just bring yourself backwards. So we're going to hold here. 3, 2, 1. And like we said, just slowly moving out of that stretch. You can always use your hands here to kind of pull the leg backwards. And do a few more on each side. And if you wanted to just progress this slightly, you could include what we did in the previous exercise here. So as we go down, we straighten the leg. Before we go down, you can try and squeeze and tense the thigh muscle. That just adds a bit of support for the hamstrings, the muscles at the back. So tensing the thigh and then gently moving down. And once you're in that position, we're just going to hold it. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Last one, back to the right leg. Pushing down, and go 15 seconds. And then, like we said, tensing the thigh if you can while you're in this position, just kind of locking out the knee a bit. If it's the right knee that's painful and the knee is flexed slightly, then don't worry about that. That's okay. Okay, excellent. Right, I'm gonna place this way again. Okay, so we're going to use plastic bag or towel for the next one. This is a lot more knee focused if you're trying to improve knee movement before and after total knee replacement. So you just place the plastic bag underneath your foot. It just enables the bag to kind of slide on the surface. So we're going to just nice and easy, just gently pull back. So as you can see, the bag just slides on the floor and then gently forward again. This is a really good one if you do have a lot of pain, if you are waiting for a knee replacement or just had a knee replacement and the knee is really sore, stiff and painful, then this is a really good kind of starting point, first exercise to do. Get a bit of momentum in the movement as you slide the foot on the floor. That's it. Just sliding as far forward as you can. The knee won't go completely straight, that's fine. But as you go back, ideally, as you come out of hospital, we'd want you to have about 90 degrees, kind of a right angle in that knee. So using the plastic bag here can just allow you to get that extra, maybe 5 or 10 degrees from this exercise. So we'll do a few more on this right side. Still good for hip as well. This is one that you can still do before or after hip surgery, as it's good you're still activating the hamstring muscles, the muscles behind the knee here. Okay, we'll do one more on this side. We'll just switch the bag over to the opposite side. And exactly the same again. So same as before, even if it's the right knee that you're waiting to have surgery on, then you're still going to find benefit from doing these on both sides, definitely. It's good to try and mix up the program a bit, so you're doing some more challenging exercises followed by perhaps a bit of an easier one or a lighter one, just to give your muscles a bit of a rest before some more challenging ones. So hopefully if you put your hands underneath the knee, you should be able to feel the hamstring muscles kind of tense as you move back. Okay, we'll do one more on this side. So we'll take the bag out now, just to progress that one slightly. If you're trying to improve the knee bend in that side, either before or after surgery, we can try and use the opposite leg. So if you bend your right knee, what we can do is just wrap the left knee around and use that left leg and the hamstring muscles to just pull back a little bit further. So if you are at about 90 degrees and you're looking to try and improve your knee flexion again before or after surgery, you can just use that opposite side. So you would actively bend the knee as far as you can. And if you get to this point, you can't go any further, wrap the left leg around, and then with just a very gentle push, flexing of the hamstrings on the left, try and gain maybe, could be 5 or 10 degrees. Once you're at that point, then we can just hold for about 5 seconds. It might be a little bit sore in the front of the right knee, but that could hopefully be not necessarily a bad pain, more of a good pain from just stretching the knee joint. And if you think about the early days after surgery, you can have the scar that's healing on the front, then we want to try and stretch and break up the scar tissue a bit to try and improve that knee bend as well. So again, shouldn't be pain-wise, it shouldn't be, you know, 7, 8, 9 out of 10. Hopefully just a gentle stretching feeling at the front of the knee. If the pain is too much on one side, then it's absolutely fine just to do the exercises on the opposite side. You know, both, you're going to benefit from improving the strength in either the side that you're having the surgery on, or the side that's going to be perhaps taking more weight when you're getting used to using 2 crutches or a frame or whatever it is that you're going to use after surgery. Okay, last one on this right side. Let me switch over to the opposite side. So first comes the active bend. Use that opposite leg. A few extra degrees there, 5 or 10 degrees, and just holding there. And we take that leg away as you actively straighten the leg. If you actively straighten, you're using your thigh muscles, your quad muscles at the top here. And we're going to bend again. Again, feeling a nice pull, hopefully at the bit of a stretch at the front of the knee. And straighten. Bending again. So holding for 5 seconds. If that's too much, again, absolutely fine just to hold for 2 or 3 seconds, or even not to hold it at all. If you get to that end point here where you're bending it actively, and you use the opposite leg to bend it maybe 5, 10 degrees more, and you get here straight away and you want to release it because it's quite painful, that's absolutely fine. We're not trying to, the aim is not so that you finish an exercise program of say 20 minutes to half an hour and your pain is a lot worse than when you started. Okay, might be a little bit more because you've worked the joints and the muscles, but not too much more. So last one on this side. Okay, so last chair exercise, we're just going to do some chair push-ups or chair dips. So after your or before your surgery, you might be using elbow crutches or a frame or something. So arm strength, really, really important. So we're going to enter the edge of the chair. Okay, hands kind of right next to the hips, and then you're going to just push yourself up. So you're straightening the arms, lifting the hips off of the chair, holding for 5 seconds, and then back down again. So probably be feeling this in the tricep muscles, which is just at the back of the arm here. So pushing up, hold it, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then back down again. So we're doing 10 repetitions, or roughly 10 repetitions of most of these exercises, but please adjust that accordingly. If you only want to do 5, or if after even 3 or 4 you feel that it's a bit too much, then you can just rest until the next exercise. Pushing up, straighten. The idea is to straighten the arms, kind of lock out the elbows, holding here, and then back down again. Okay, we'll do 3 more for this. 4, 3, 2, 1, back down again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last one. Lifting up, straightening the elbows, lock out the elbows. You're feeling it in the back of the arms. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. So we're going to start the standing exercises. So always have a chair alongside here, just so that you've got a bit of support if you need that. Now, ideally, we're going to be working on your balance as well as your strength. So if you can do these without support, then that's absolutely fine. But to start with, I would always just have perhaps just a chair, either both sides, or just something so you can support here. So we're going to start with heel raises. So we're going to hold on, both hands onto the chair, feet about shoulder width apart, and then we're going to lift the heels up and then back down. We're going to lift up. So here you're working on your balance, definitely reducing the base of support that you're standing on, but also your calf strength muscles at the back of the leg here. This is going to be a really important one, both before and after surgery, hip and knee as well. If it's a knee surgery, then you're trying to lock out that knee first. Most important thing after a knee replacement is getting the knee straight. The knee bend is definitely going to improve over time, but in the first few days and first week after surgery, you're going to have some swelling, inflammation, and that might just keep the knee flexed, bent at about maybe 10, 15 degrees. So the most important thing is to try and straighten that knee as much as you can. Down again. Okay, we're going to do 3 more of these. So again, nice and slow. You're not really holding these at the end, just gently kind of moving through, lifting the heels. Back down again, same again, last one. Up and down. We won't do it now, but a slight progression from those could just be lifting the heels up and then the toes up as well, as long as you're holding on. Just going to move this up slightly. Okay, so we're going to move into some squats. So nice and gentle for these. We're going to keep the feet shoulder width apart again, holding on to the chair, and we're going to sit back and down as if you've got a chair behind you and you're going to sit in that chair. So as you can see, as we go down, we get a nice knee bend and a hip bend as well. So it might be that, you know, your knees are coming forward a bit. Again, that's okay. The heels might come up from the floor, but the aim is to keep the heels down so that you're shifting the weight backwards into the heels. Okay, so going down and back up, try and look, I was looking down there, but we're going to try and look up ahead of you, hands on, and then back up again. So nice and slowly on the way down and slowly on the way up as well. And if you can't get down as far as that, that's absolutely fine. Just to bend just a little bit there and then back up again. Okay, last one. Yeah. Okay, we'll turn this way. Hand on the chair again if you need to. And we're just going to go for a hip and a knee bend. So lifting up ahead of you like that. So again, important before surgery, after surgery. Could be a hip or a knee replacement. As you can see, as you come up, you're flexing, you're bending the hip, but also consequently the knee's going to nicely bend as well. If this is a bit sore, if you're waiting for surgery on the right leg, you could either have a second chair on the other side just to take a bit of the weight, or it's absolutely fine just to work on one side. We'll do 3 more. Lifting up. Okay, and we switch to the opposite side. So same thing. So hip bend, knee bend. If you can, trying to get the thigh parallel to the floor to 90 degrees, and then hopefully, if that's the case, then the knee should come to 90 degrees as well. If you can't get up as far, it's just lifting to here, that's fine. Do a couple more. And then to try and build up to walking again afterwards, after your surgery, a good one to do is just alternating. So we go up with the left leg and then the right leg. The left leg and the right leg. If that's too difficult and we want to do it on one side, then no problem. Okay, last couple. Excellent. So the next exercise, we're going to stand with the feet shoulder width apart again, and we're going to keep the leg straight, keep the knee straight. Going to shift the weight onto this leg, still holding onto the chair. I'm going to stand up nice and tall and just move that leg out to the side. Okay. So as you do that, you're working the outer hip muscle here. Really important to work on strength of the hip muscles, even if it's not a hip surgery, even if it's a knee surgery, really important for mobility, for your walking, for your balance, general function, up and down the stairs, getting in and out of bed, getting out of a car, really, really important. So if you can't get up as far, then just a slight movement is okay. And the aim here is that you're standing up tall. What we want to avoid is leaning over to one side like that, because we're aiming to move the leg from the midline, basically, out to that side. So we'll step away. You could obviously turn around, hold on to the chair with the left hand, or we just lift that out to the side there. So how many repetitions you do is up to you. Anything between, could be 5, could be 10, could be 15. Depends where you're at, when your surgery is, or when you've had your surgery, what your pain levels are out of 10. Completely flexible. Or again, we're doing probably sort of 30 to 40 minutes here. It could be that you do the first half of the video, pause it, take a rest, and then the second half a bit later on, or one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Okay, last 3 for this. Okay, so really, really important to work on balance as well as strength and mobility after or before your surgery. So we're going to do a single leg stand, but again with support. Okay, so I'm going to start the balance on the right leg. So if you just flex the left leg up, but this time we're going to try and hold the leg up. Okay, there's lots of different variations of this or progressions. So to start with, I would make sure you're either holding on to one chair, another chair on the other side, or could be also making sure there's a chair behind you as well, just in case. If you do lose your balance, then obviously it's safe if you've got a chair behind you. Okay, so we go to the opposite leg. Now, it could be that this is quite comfortable for you, and then you might be able to gently kind of lift the hand up and down, just so you're balancing independently for maybe 1 second or 2 seconds. Again, but it's absolutely fine just to have something to support onto as well. So we can hold this again, really depends, could be 5 seconds, could be 10 seconds. And if you're got pain in that left side, either give yourself more hand support, or we just try it on the opposite side. Okay, and the main aim of having this surgery that you're going to have is that you alleviate the pain in the joint, obviously. So it might not be appropriate to do some of these before your surgery. Okay, again, if this is quite comfortable on one side, say if you're holding on when you're doing the left side, but the opposite side is a bit more comfortable, it could be that you try and bring your hands by your side or opposite the chest. If that's too advanced, then we hold on. Okay, last one on this side. But really, really important to think about balance as well as strength and mobility. Okay, so we're going to move into a calf stretch. So we spoke about the calf muscles earlier when we were doing the calf raises. We're going to do a gentle calf stretch now. So I'm going to hold on to either the chair or the wall. So right knee is going to be forward, left knee back. Now, as you're doing this, you're trying to straighten that left knee, and then we bend forward into the right knee. And as you're doing that, you should feel a nice stretch on the back of the calf here. Better to do this, I'll do it on the chair just to show you, but better to do it against the wall, just so whatever you're holding on to doesn't kind of slip away from you. Okay, so once you're in this position, both feet are pointing forward, and that front knee just kind of edges its way forward. The further forward that comes, you're going to feel a bit more of an intense stretch on the back of the leg. Okay, so we would hold that about 15 to 20 seconds again. So we'll set that up on the other side. Back knee goes straight, front knee just bending forward, holding on for support. And always thinking about keeping that right leg straight there. So 3, 2, 1. We'll swap back. We're going to do one more on each side. Same again. Left leg straight, right knee bends. I'm standing up tall, not flexing too much in the upper body. It might be that, again, if it's a knee replacement, the knee might not be completely straight. Might be a bit of pain, bit of swelling, but you're just, if it is slightly flexed, then you're just gently trying to push it back to get it as straight as you can. And this is a good one to do in the early stages after knee replacement as well. And then last side. So again, 15 to 20 seconds, but if you're doing 5 to 10 seconds, then that's fine. You can always rest until the next exercise. Good. So we're going to go back into the chair. I'm going to do one more tough exercise before we have a bit of a warm down. So this one, we're going to bring the chair, perhaps bring it against the back of the wall. Okay, feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to do a sit to stand. So if you can, hands across the chest and just slowly, gently coming up into standing, and then slowly back down again. If that's a bit challenging, we go one hand on the chair and we'll stand up. Might be that you can push up, you need one hand to push up, but on the way down, you can do the hands here. And if that, again, one hand's too difficult, both hands. So both hands on the chair, lifting up, squeezing the thigh muscles as you stand, hands across the chest, and then slowly down. So good modification for this one. If, say, the left knee is sore and painful, once we've stood up, if your feet are quite far back, you're going to get quite a strong knee bend at the end of that, so we can bring that leg forward a bit. Okay, and as you do that, as you come down, you can see the right leg is flexed to about 100 degrees there, but the left leg about 80, so a bit less pressure. But if you stand up like this, more pressure is going to be going through that right side. Okay, so we'll go hands across the chest. We'll bring it down again. Okay, we'll try 5 more for these. Straight up, hands across the chest. And the aim is to stand slowly and to sit slowly as well. So if you can do it with hands keeping across the chest, then that's really good. Back down we go. And last one. And then down we go. Good, so that's the harder ones out the way. And just to finish off, we're just gonna gently kind of kick the legs out like this. Might be able to alternate between just gentle knee movements, hip movements as well. After you've done your exercise, it's really, really important to just do some kind of lighter exercises after the more challenging ones, just to cool down, move the joints in a nice, slow and relaxed way as well. So gently lifting up. Whatever you've been working, if it's the knees and the hips, then we just want to gently kind of take those joints through their range of movement. So really, really nice and easy. And then same as we did at the start, we're going to tap the ankles, moving up and down. And then we go with the heels, up and down. And making sure you're drinking lots of water as well before, during, after doing these exercises is really important as well. Okay, last few. Excellent. Over to you, Axel.
Brilliant, brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Mark. That was
Pleasure,
wonderful.
no problem.
I think that was a really, really nice, enjoyable, and pretty straightforward run of exercise that people can do at home. Of course, as highlighted before, and it's always worth saying again, these sessions are never a replacement for the kind of one-on-one input that you would get, you know, by seeing a physiotherapist individually, either in person or virtually, as the case may be. But I really hope that these exercises will help to give people a feel for the kind of movements that they might be doing, and also from the feedback that we've had from people who are following these videos, and indeed from people who are using the Joint School app. I think it's just nice to see to get some variation. I think there's a lot of people out there who are doing the best they can to kind of to keep active and keep joints moving, especially those who are unfortunately facing a bit of an uncertain wait in terms of when the operation might happen. And so just trying to keep things moving, seeing how to do that in a few different ways, I think that's really great. So thank you for that.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
No, absolute pleasure. And of course, as we said at the start, there will be details below this video to Post Op Home Physio and how you can find out more information and also book in for a one-on-one session, either in person or virtually. Before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to add? I know you mentioned a few things as we went through, but is there anything else in terms of modifications or so on?
Yeah, I think just if people do have, you know, obviously you're waiting for surgery, then pain levels can be quite high, especially if there's, you know, a surgery that was planned and that has been delayed. So there's always modifications that can be made to exercises. Could be as simple as getting more support for a standing exercise, or just adapting slightly, or not quite going as far on one side than the other. So if an exercise is painful, not to kind of give up on it, but just try and make a few modifications so that you can still work on the movement and the strength.
Yeah. And during the exercises, as you went through, you mentioned this idea of good pain and bad pain.
Yeah.
When you're supporting someone through an exercise, sort of, and you're sort of one-on-one, how would you, how do you use those terms? How do you describe the difference between them?
So we'll always get our clients to score pain out of 10. So 10 being, you know, really bad pain, the worst pain you could imagine, and 0 being no pain at all. So obviously, you know, this can fluctuate either after surgery, or it can even fluctuate during a session. But we try to, you know, often clients will say this exercise is painful, but we want to know, is it like a sharp shooting pain where you feel perhaps something is happening that it shouldn't be happening? Or, you know, if you've got a stiff and swollen knee joint after knee surgery, that, you know, that is a normal process, that is okay. And if you're feeling a pain that's, say, a 4 out of 10, and the pain is more of a stretching, you know, is it a pain, or is it just the sensation of the muscles stretching, the joints moving, which is okay? So just, you know, thinking, is it actually pain, or is it just a stretching sensation? Is it just movement? Is it kind of what we would expect after a major surgery?
Yeah. And of course, the concept of pain and the experience of it is really personal and subjective.
Exactly.
But it can still be, but because as long as you yourself don't change too much, comparing like for like with your experience of pain can be really useful.
Yeah, we get a lot of clients that either know somebody or know someone that's had surgery the same time as them, and they want to tell us that their pain's a 6 out of 10, but their friend's pain is a 3 out of 10, and they're asking, why is that? But yeah, everyone's pain perception, like you say, is completely different. So one of the main points is, after having these type of surgeries, is definitely don't compare yourself to other people.
No, and really, I mean, that's one of the things. So within the Joint School app, for people out there who are using the app, if you haven't yet, it's free to use. It's really quick and easy to download. Just JointSchool.app. There'll be a link below here. And one of the key things in that is sort of the pain diary. So today's pain score, again, from 0 to 10, and it's just, you know, in terms of what you understand that to be, and it can be quite valuable as you see those graphs developing over time, to find that balance between trying to keep moving regularly but not doing too much, recognizing perhaps some days or some weeks when maybe you might be being a bit you know, over enthusiastic, shall we say, and then recognizing where that level is. And certainly once you've had the surgery, there will be that period of, you know, taking things really quite easy in the early weeks and even months after surgery. But then over time, you know, the pain scores should come down, and you'll be able to increase activity. But that's also a key stage where it's about finding that balance between regular gentle exercise, not doing too much, and just kind of waiting things out to heal.
Yeah, I think even even on a good day, some people, they might have had a better day where the pain is lower. Also, to not do too much on that day, to make sure you're getting regular rest in, you're spreading out your exercises. If it's a good day and the pain's at a 2 out of 10 and you do too much, it might mean that the next day the pain could be higher than we would want.
Yeah, and you've touched on some key things there. So there's keeping active regularly, but not doing too much. You've also mentioned about keeping hydrated and making it, especially now as we're getting into the summer and it looks like it could be quite a hot one. So not getting dehydrated and getting a good amount of rest as well.
Definitely. It's all about the balance between exercise and rest. So it could be like a short walk in the morning and then making sure you're resting, eating well, staying hydrated, and then a kind of exercise program later in the afternoon, and then again resting again.
And I think one final question for me before we sign off, because I know it's one that's often raised sort of in the forums and in questions that we get sent in from people using the Joint School app and just generally, is around doing the exercises on both sides. So on both, involving both knees, both hips, both legs, or both arms even for upper limb things. What are your thoughts around that? And is that something you encounter as well?
Yeah, as much as you can. If you're, for example, waiting for a right knee replacement, as much as you can, you want to do the exercises on both sides. Mm-hmm. After that surgery, you might be on crutches, you might be taking a lot of pressure through the opposite side while the other one heals. So we want that leg to be as strong as possible as well, 100%. If you can't do the exercises on both sides, then obviously that's okay, and you can either adapt them or change them accordingly. But if you have the ability to do them on both sides, then definitely go for it.
And you made a really good point there at the start as well about emphasizing the need to not forget the upper body, even when you're having to the hip or the knee, you're going to need the arms, you're going to need that upper body strength.
Exactly. Yeah. Obviously, it can be a bit of a shock to people after surgery. You think so much about the knee or the hip, and if you've never used a walking aid before, you've never used crutches before, then it's going to take a bit of pressure through the arms and core, upper body as well. So really focusing on strength. And if you find the right balance during your program, it could be that you do some 10 repetitions of a leg exercises while you're doing some arm exercises. It gives the legs a bit of a rest, ready to go again.
Yeah, sure. Because crutches can be hard work. It really can be.
Definitely, definitely.
Good stuff. Well, I think we've covered some really good points there. I think it's a really nice starting point. And yeah, thank you again for a great session.
Thanks for having us.
No, absolute pleasure. What are we doing next time, Mark?
Early stage recovery, kind of first week to 10 days after knee replacement.
Fantastic. We'll be looking forward to it. Everyone else out there, if you're using the app, you can make a note in the app to keep track of the exercises that you've done, and indeed the pain score for today. And yeah, as ever, stay safe out there, keep well, and we look forward to seeing you for the next one. Oh, and do send in any questions, suggestions. If there's anything about this session that you want to ask, fire away. We're here. Until next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye now.